You can call on 26 parties and you say that the BJP is rattled, then let me tell you that the NDA has 38 parties that are going to, join that particular meeting. OP Rajbhar, he was earlier seen at the Lucknow airport. We've spoken to Sanjay Nishad of the Nishad party. We'll play out that reaction for the viewers as well, and for you for your perusal, sir, as well. And apart from that, we've got, several factors at play. Nitish Kumar's posters that have come up that said unstable PM, they were taken down. Oman Chandy, former Kerala Chief Minister and a tall Congress leader, his mortal remains are in Karnataka. Mallikarjun Kharge went there to pay his respects and tributes have been pouring in on social media as well. That's that poster that I was talking about, Varghese. But essentially, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi acting as a glue. What is the Congress's role going to be? Are other smaller brothers going to be miffed at the fact that Congress is, taking all the credit after becoming the elder brother? Lalu Prasad Yadav, his particular reactions about Bharat and Bharati and Dula last time around when the joint opposition meet was held in Patna. What are you looking at? There is so much that can happen. The Congress says that the seat sharing will take time. Parties will discuss this going state to state. All in all, there was much camaraderie, much friendship on day one. It seemed like the Met Gala, not the opposition joint conclave. But today, the real business is going to take place, Varghese.
Yes, today is the real business is going to take place. And when we talk about the opposition meet, this is probably one of the largest meeting of opposition parties. 26 like-minded parties sitting in Bengaluru and trying to dish out probably what would be a future kind of an alliance, which has a very common thread, that is to be against the BJP in the Lok Sabha 2024 elections.
Again, see, Sharad Pawar has come.
Now that's a big,
and
arrival as such.
Karnataka Congress that is
hosting the event.
That is welcoming, all these leaders that are coming. Be it Akhilesh Yadav, be it Sharad Pawar, it's the Karnataka Congress here.
And then you have two people prominently in that. You have Siddaramaiah in front and you have DK Shiv Kumar. Two people who have delivered Karnataka to the Congress. And it seems that that's status within the party has also increased by hosting this event as well.
Now,
so Karnataka is the Congress place for right now.
Hosting this event in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, a place that the Congress recently took back from BJP. They said Karnataka is the BJP's only stronghold in the south, and they took that back, decimated the BJP in Karnataka. H.D. Kumaraswamy has become the leader of opposition, not Basavaraj Bommai, and people have already said MB Patil's tweet. You read that. He said, Basavaraj Bommai, how about you come to Congress, because you never know what they did with Jagdish Shettar and Lakshman Savadi.
It's something that could happen to you.
The same could happen with you, but hosting it in Bengaluru, is it for the other opposition parties, for them to show, look, we've done this, so how about you let us become the fulcrum of the opposition? Or is it a larger message
also
to the
advertising?
BJP?
It is more than larger message to the BJP. It is also about advertising the fact that they've been able to take a BJP in a fair and square elections here. So that is what they are looking at. But the BJP is not a party that is going to be cowed down. It is a party that is already having its NDA meeting that is happening, and around 30 parties are joining in for that NDA
JP
meet as
Nadda
well.
said that you don't have Niyat, Niyati or Neta.
Can you make it into English?
Yeah, you don't have the intention, neither do you have the policy, nor do you have the politician leaders for it.
So that is one question that has been asked, because yesterday we did see how KC Venugopal was a little angry with one of the reporters when they talked about leadership. He said there are so many things to be spoken about, but leadership issue is going to be there, and the Congress will try to be the fulcrum around which all these parties could revolve in. But however, they are also trying to synergize, they're playing practical politics in a way that they're trying to synergize with parties that are very regional, who have a regional clout, like the DMK. Or even when it comes to Nitish's JDU, the RJD, they have good regional clout. So they don't want to be looking as the people who are going to divide the secular vote. And from yesterday also I've been saying that the secular vote is very important for the Congress that does not get divided.
Nitish
so
Kumar
looking at that.
Nitish Kumar. I mean, of course, the secular vote is in principle the foundational value of the Congress party as well. Nitish Kumar and the posters that we saw, we saw those posters of unstable Prime Minister. There you have it, the unstable Prime Minister.
Ministerial contender.
Ministerial contender. The bridge collapse is something that whoever's put up these posters has targeted. Opposition unity in that red box. Now, do you think that Prime Minister's position and Nitish Kumar is something that is a potential prospect? The Deputy Chief Minister, DK Shiv Kumar, He's reacted on this. Let's listen into what DK Shivkumar had to say, and then I'll come back to pick your brains, Varghese.
There is no disturbance in it. It is a national issue, but we have to respect our leaders.
Sir, BJP and JDS are saying state protocol have been given, IAS officer have been deployed, money from the exchequer has been used.
Nothing. They are our leaders. They are the former chief minister, sitting chief minister in all time. Protocol. There is a procedure when we fix up. So give a respect to any leaders from the protocol when they are our state guests. They should be given respect.
Sir, today NDA meeting is happening on the day when opposition also is meeting today, sir.
It is their prerogative. We don't want to comment on that. So, some leaders may comment on various things. We don't want to comment on this. Our agenda is important.
Well, so what do you make of those reactions, Varghese? He's saying the NDA meet is their prerogative. We're not worried about that. The NDA says that the BJP, the Congress party says that the NDA is going into a huddle only because of what they're seeing in Bengaluru. They are the ones that are reacting, not us. They are reacting to what we're doing. It's nothing new. They planned it on the same day when we had our meet. And what you've done is it's a pure number game. 26 parties. You're saying we have 38.
See, I mean, politics is also the game of perceptions. But then the fact remains is that NDA has been a large alliance, and the BJP, of course, did not require the kind of partners that it required because it was in complete majority. But it did not let go of the alliance. That is one thing. Its practicality just shows there that it did not let go of the alliances. It kept its alliance partners together, and they also tried to leverage the strengths of the alliance partners during the local elections in the states as well as when it comes to the local bodies. But then here what we are looking at is that there are significant regional groupings that we can see over here, and regional players and regional satraps to a large extent, if you can say like that, they are coming together. And they are from states that, where the BJP has been trying to make an entrance, like Tamil Nadu or Kerala, or there are, areas where the BJP have been wanting to enter. And these are the areas where they have actually come together in. And of course, when it comes to Nitish Kumar, we have seen how from this camp to the other camp, there's been always been, and probably that is why, and I'm sure that someone who has put that posters out really knows what he was actually trying to say when it came to Nitish Kumar. And there was also a talk once upon a time that when this alliance was coming together, that probably the compromise candidate or the consensus candidate would be Nitish Kumar, and that is why we see this kind of a thing, opposition unity, prime minister. And we should understand that the Congress is a very practical party in that regard, because they have always thought of solutions outside the box. We've seen how H.D. Kumaraswamy with 37 MLAs became the chief minister of this thing, backed by the Congress. The Congress also had a time in the 1990s where they were the largest party but backed significant lesser players like H.D. Devegowda, I.K. Gujral, So they do have some kind of out-of-the-box thinking when it comes to leadership. So it is possible, what I'm saying, that if Nitish Kumar is being said prime ministerial
what about Arvind Kejriwal's, coming to the table?
Arvind Kejriwal's coming to the table is largely a coup d'etat because we know that the Aam Aadmi's primary focus has been against the Congress. They came on the alleged Congress corruption in Delhi that they rode to power, and they have brought that narrative to the mainstream.
The narrative is that the Aam Aadmi party is replacing the Congress in so many states.
So in so many states.
They are directly at loggerheads.
You are in Punjab, you have the AAP and the Congress, and Delhi, of course, you have, and then the BJP has been trying to break into these states as well. Its allies have weakened significantly. The regional players or allies have technically weakened in all these states for the BJP. So the BJP has to do it alone in some of these states. But the fact remains is that when we look at the larger thing, it's kind of a coup d'etat that you have been able to get AAP onto your side, and that too just moments before that AAP gave that confirmation, you did go ahead and say, that is MB Patil in fact receiving
Again, it's the Karnataka Congress that's welcoming
Hebalkar there, Raghav Chadha,
Punjab Chief Minister. KC Venugopal's hug to Raghav Chadha. You see that as soon as Raghav Chadha climbs up the stairs,
I mean that informal body language.
Take a look at that.
Yes, that visual over here. You can see KC Venugopal. In fact, we're having that very informal chat with
brother. You are here too. Probably congratulating on his, recent,
which also probably talks. That also, but it also talks about the fact that there's a lot of back channel talks that were being going on between AAP and the Congress. They kept the communications quite.
I'm sure KC Venugopal played a crucial role in Aam Aadmi Party now coming to the table, because KC Venugopal plays that role of
the negotiations.
these dissenting sides can finally come to one table, at least talk it out.
Yeah, you're right on that part, in the sense that the backstage negotiations have been going on, and of course getting AAP on one side is fact. But again, when we come to these 26 parties, they are strong regional players and they have different ideologies as such. And Kabir, I think you have to give it to the fact that when it comes to the strong ideologies and this thing, how will they actually keep that thread of unity? That is where they come with the common minimum program. This is again, from the alliance experience of the Congress, they have come with the common minimum program to say that, we are not going to deviate from this. This is what we are sticking to, and this will probably give an idea of how we as an alliance are going to go forward when it comes to governance and also when it comes to power sharing. So this is an indirect message that goes through the CMP, because right now they're going first for the CMP and only later they're going to talk about possible seat allocations and discussions. And with NCP chief Sharad Pawar in place, I think, Kabir, that is another big message that's coming in with an embattled NCP with them. I think it is going to be interesting to see how the situation in Maharashtra is also going to unfold. We've seen how second time Ajit Pawar had tried to meet with Sharad Pawar, and Ajit Pawar tried to convince him that they need to support NCP and NCP has to stay united. And again,
but
we
Sharad
have
Pawar
seen
is
the
not
drama.
going to join hands with the BJP. Let me tell you that.
He's already made it there, and it's always been a stoic silence when they have met him. So, and also it's not that there are 9 people who are ministers.
And Sharad Pawar is very important for this joint, opposition conclave. Yesterday, Jairam Ramesh, he let D.K. Shivkumar answer all questions and KC Venugopal answer all questions. But the one question that he answered himself was the fact that don't say that tall leaders aren't coming to this meet.
Yeah, exactly. That big question mark.
Sharad Pawar will come tomorrow, because tomorrow is when the main
meeting is all about.
Main business is going to be carried out. Pankaj Mishra also with us on the broadcast, Varghese. Pankaj, if you can hear us, how are you looking at the developments today? It's a big, big day. Any guesses on this opposition alliance name?
Well, they already have, tossed a few names here and there. United Progressive Alliance now doesn't hold water there. PDA, that was one People's Democratic Alliance that was doing rounds, but I believe
PDA is also a great segue into Rahul Gandhi's Mohabbat ki dukan, because it's public display of affection.
Well, even you could be, one of the key factors of striking the right chord with the millennials, maybe who would be in the voting age now. PDA is the term often used also, for the public display of affection. But this kind of affection among the once rival political parties, maybe this name would also, suit them. But yes, a name is a factor definitely which should cut across both the north and the southern part of the country, the association fact. And secondly, I believe for the political leaders to come together, that name would be the last thing which could be the bone of contention as of now. State-wise seat distribution, role allocation, subcommittees formation, all those aspects that Congress and rest of the party members are thrashing out in Bengaluru as we speak is very crucial. And not far away in Delhi too, the ripples and ramifications are being seen. And talking about the posters, I would say Nitish Kumar, why, one would think that why only Nitish Kumar's poster came there? There were MK Stalin also.
Exactly the question. Also, Pankaj, what's your take on the fact that Rahul Gandhi was seated right between Lalu Prasad Yadav and Nitish Kumar? Last time around in Patna, you remember the Barati comment right at the end of the press conference. He said, कि राहुल जी आप दूल्हा बन जाइए, हम बाराती बनकर आ जाएंगे सब. अब दोनों बाराती दूल्हे के बगल में बैठे हैं क्या? You've got Lalu on the left and Nitish on the right.
Well, see, I mean, one can't help but read, between the lines here. And Rahul Gandhi obviously is one choice that could, because of the sheer size of the Congress, it is possible that as far as the Prime Ministerial name is concerned, if, the likes of Nitish Kumar and Lalu back him, then certainly he can be the Dulha as far as this Bharat is concerned. And this is what the BJP also was harping at. So one of the many ammunitions that BJP would want to fire at them is the prime ministerial candidate phase. Secondly, obviously, many political pundits are saying that an NDA meeting in Delhi at this point of time, when BJP holds more than 300 seats or is targeting more than 300 seats once again, or 350 for that matter. So why keep the flock together? Obviously, more than anything, I think the fence sitters or those who might jump switch sides. So we have seen to and fro happening in the form of OP Rajbhar, which has gone back to the BJP fold once again.
Right.
So as we inch closer to 2024, I think it is imperative on both the parties actually, both the conglomerate actually, to keep the house together. And needless to say, when we arrive in 2024, we will have to say that these visuals that we are playing as of now, how many partners still stand or how many more faces join them.
Absolutely, Pankaj. Just one last question, away from the jokes, on a serious note, the seat sharing formula, that is going to be one point of concern between these parties. How will they go state by state on that? Because day one looks like there's a lot of friendship, but will this friendship sustain is the bigger question.
Yes, this is something that's why, of the 6 points that they have chalked out to discuss, seat sharing also is a critical aspect of it. And one has to devise a methodology where, one structure could be acceptable to all, and that's how they would proceed. So as of now, state by state, gives an upper hand to the Aam Aadmi Party as of now, which has barring the Congress, which has its government in more than one state. Mamata Banerjee, RJD or JDU for that matter, all of them have one state in their kitty. So at the end of it, obviously, whichever permutation and combination you use, it's the Congress by the sheer size of the party that would be benefiting. But that's not the important here. The important aspect is for the common cause to defeat BJP, for the common cause to see BJP on the mat, whether they would be able to extricate themselves from the differences that they have. That's one aspect which I think efforts and steps have been taken in the form of Congress backing Aam Aadmi Party in its opposition to the center's ordinance on the control over Delhi. And secondly, the ED factor. The ED factor here is very important, Kabir and Varghese. For the fact that all the names and faces that are flashing on the screen as of now, right from MK Stalin to Sharad Pawar here, who has just faced a setback at his home front, Tejasvi Yadav, the man embroiled in land for jobs scam, Lalu Prasad Yadav, all of them have something or the other which might not augur well if they land on the wrong side of the enforcement directorate. And that's why for this bloc also to stay together should give out a message that they are going to fight tooth and nail what they call the misuse of the central powers.
Right. You know what, before we move on, let's listen in to what Brijesh Pathak had to say. Brijesh Pathak, Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, member of the NDA camp, certainly. The NDA camp is also going into a huddle in the national capital today. 38 parties. You called in 26, we'll give you 38. Brijesh Pathak's reaction, and then we'll come back for more.
आप जानते हैं कि जो विपक्षी दल हैं ये फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हैं और कहीं न कहीं भ्रष्टाचार के दाग उन लोगों को पहले से लगे हुए हैं और ये बैठक जो विपक्षी दलों की है ये फ्लाप्सो साबित होगी कि वो लोग कुर्सी के लिए इकट्ठा हुए हैं, सत्ता के लिए इकट्ठा हुए हैं, जबकि भारत की जनता ने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में इस बात को घर घर महसूस किया है कि गरीब कल्याण योजनाओं में लोगों के जीवन स्तर को ऊपर उठाने में सफलता प्राप्त की है। गरीबी की रेखा के नीचे रहने वाले लोगों को हम ऊपर उठाने में कामयाब हुए हैं, प्रति व्यक्ति आय बढ़ी है, दुनिया के पैमाने पर भारत माता की छवि बुलंद हुई है और माननीय मोदी जी दुनिया के सर्वाधिक लोकप्रिय नेता बने हैं। 2024 में मोदी जी ही आएंगे, प्रचंड बहुमत की राजग की भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी।
Well, so Varghese, what do you make of JP Nadda's stand? He's saying that the leadership is hollow and there is no comparison of any leader against what Prime Minister Modi has done over the last 9
see,
years.
JP Nadda is right when he asked that question to an extent. Why? Because we have seen how the Congress has been kind of a leadership radar for some time. We have seen how when the question was asked whether who's going to project, Rahul Gandhi moving away from the Congress presidency, then interim president as Sonia Gandhi coming in, and it took some time for the Congress to actually get in a leadership as such. And then you had the elections and then you had Kharge coming up at the top. The big question that would be asking is who's leading this alliance. So it's a big question to ask. First of all, put that question mark saying that, see, there are so many in your alliance who have ambitions to become the Prime Minister of this country. Are you sure you want to be with the party that already knows who should become the Prime Minister of the country if they get a chance? So that is an indirect question that JP Nadda has asked the camp as such. But then, as you point out, there are, with two parallel meetings, the NDA alliance as well, this happening at the same time, and the presence of Sonia Gandhi actively taking part in this opposition meet, it shows that Sonia Gandhi is the person who's actually bringing, or is rather the glue that is slowly around which everything is working on, and that's why you have this huge group of leaders actually coming in. So you have Kharge, you have the top leadership of the Congress, all of them working in backroom channels and all of them trying to prepare for the 2024 elections. And of course, the common factor is the BJP, and you have the larger image of the Prime Minister to which they are trying to build an opposition narrative.
Today, albeit for a little bit of an unfortunate reason, the Congress party, again, it seems like in thoughts and prayers and emotions has come together again. Visuals from Karnataka, you've got the mortal remains of Oppn Chandy, the former Kerala Chief Minister. His mortal remains in Karnataka. Mallikarjun Kharge, before heading towards that particular conclave, went to visit the family and this particular event. Oppn Chandy, what he meant for the Congress party, would you like to throw some light on that?
Well, Oppn Chandy is a veteran Congress leader. He has been the Congress leader who's been growing along with the party in Kerala, one of the core constituents of the UDF in Kerala. He served as Chief Minister twice. He's a mass leader in that way. His constituency, Puduppally, he won that constituency when he was only 27 in 1969. He came through student politics. He, along with Pinarayi Vijayan, both of them entered the assembly together in that way. Pinarayi from the left camp though. And both of them have been mirroring each other's career for a long time. It was Oppn Chandy who Pinarayi Vijayan had defeated when he became the Chief Minister for the first time, and of course he got the second term as well. Oppn Chandy has been suffering from a prolonged illness. He has been in treatment in Bengaluru for quite a long time. He was having his doctors consult him over there, and then we have his family also, on and off moving from Puduppally as such. But Puduppally as a constituency from which Oppn Chandy hails, it's a constituency that has been very devout to, this legislator, and probably he's one of those rare legislators who's been continuously winning from one constituency, and then that of course talks about his outreach. And when he was a Chief Minister, he was not a minister who was very difficult to approach. He was a person who had arranged huge mass connect programs, mass contact programs, in which he used to be in the center of it all, and he used to in fact listen to people from each constituency, and you had a direct access to the Chief Minister, and many of them did. He got award from the United Nations for this mass contact program that he had started off as well. So Oppn Chandy as a politician is very important when it came to south of the country as well as when it comes to Kerala, but it's a huge void that it is going to be difficult to fill. But Oppn Chandy had been a mentor to a lot of people, and therefore he's in fact ensured that the leadership rungs of the party are even filled even now.
Tributes are pouring in, and certainly a sad day for Congress particularly. On the other hand, the opposition meet, where is it essentially headed? The common program that we're talking about, will all parties see eye to eye on those, common anti-BJP structure?
As of now, when it comes to the common minimum program, I don't think so visibly they are going to show anything of an anti-BJP nature. But policy-wise, this is what they are trying to say, that this will be the framework. I think that picture says it all, doesn't it?
DK Shiv Kumar standing right next to the Chief Minister of West Bengal, having a conversation, a candid one at that, little bit of a smile here and there. That's again my point. Is this all just smiles, or does it have a bit of truth as well?
Well, I think there's a lot of, a lot of truth as well, because trying to get a whole different bunch of leaders all together at one platform is a difficult task. And this is Akhilesh Yadav, of course, with the SP, with the Congress, has been having an on and off alliance, and this picture says it all. And with the DK Shivakumar, in fact,
It's like a proper delegation. Pankaj, are you looking at these visuals? I mean, in a Quad summit, you'll have Joe Biden move around with his entourage. You'll have Prime Minister Modi moving around with his entourage. It's a similar sort of a situation. Yesterday was a little bit of a Met Gala vibe. Now it's a proper Quad summit. You've got Akhilesh Yadav moving with his SP entourage, Mamata Banerjee with her TMC entourage, and the Congress party at the center of it all, welcoming everybody like the big brother that it is in this situation.
स्टिल भाई कैमरा नीचे नीचे आओ पीछे पीछे
Well, it seems like we've lost our connection with Pankaj. Varghese, how about you throw some light on that?
well, right now it just shows the statuses which now we have DK Shivakumar, the Deputy Chief Minister, also being in the ranks, and two very key leaders from the opposition. We have the SP leader Akhilesh Yadav and Mamata Banerjee at that meet and having a word with the rest of them. And in this meet, as you pointed out, the question would be about the CMP. How much of the CMP is acceptable or not?
The Common Minimum Program, the anti-BJP structure. Let's not just say CMP, because people need to understand that these are 26 like-minded quote-unquote parties.
How much of them will be like-minded? I mean, let's see how
precisely.
How much. But they are planning. They are trying to give a structure to this. They are trying to have a secretariat. They are a secretariat for coordination. They are trying to have office bearers for this alliance to be put in place. So all of that. So I think it's Srinathi who's having a word with
Absolutely
right now. Yeah. So they are trying to bring a complete structure to this. So if they're trying to bring a structure to this, of course it is in the large interest that they are looking at. And I think, or what I tend to read from this, is that they are hoping to take on the organizational nature of the BJP, because BJP organizationally they are quite strong. They have everything from a booth level worker, to the leadership that they require. So they are quite strong. So take on this, you need to synergize with the rest of the parties as well.
Right. I'm being told Pankaj is back with us. Pankaj, did you hear that question earlier?
I did, Kabir.
Right. The Quad vibe, this international summit vibe of this conclave, everybody moving around with their own entourage. Isn't the idea for everybody to come together rather than Mamata Banerjee moving around with her entourage and SP's Akhilesh Yadav, folding his hands and paying his respects from far away with his own entourage standing in another corner? Not everybody is together per se here. Or am I reading the visuals and the pictures a little bit differently than you are?
Well, I think for that matter, for all of them to come together, I guess the newly elected Karnataka government should have booked a bus for them to reach the hotel. But Taj West End is the place where actually the guests are staying also. And in one part of it is this opposition unity meeting happening, United We Stand. At least they should be driving also in together, if that's what you referred. I was mentioning that it wouldn't take, anything less than a Herculean effort to come together and put the differences aside. Differences are one thing, only half of the story. The other aspect is what if the situation favors them, what the stars favors this.
Pawar Sahib is here, Pankaj. Pawar Sahib has entered.
Pawar Sahib, exactly 11:40 as per his schedule, has arrived there, and now obviously he is one of the astute politicians who would be playing a key role. Yesterday and this morning newspapers also mentioned the role of Sonia Gandhi, but needless to say, this man there, once bitten, twice shy, is finally at the meeting. What has happened with his party is known to all, and his relative Ajit Pawar, breaking ranks from his party and taking a major chunk to the BJP fold. That is something that is obviously bringing not just NCP, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, and rest of the party members also together. So yes, as I was mentioning, the aspect of their differences, that has to be set aside. That's there. You see from up north.
Mehbooba Mufti
PDP
with
also
the
there,
Deputy Chief
Mehbooba
Minister,
Mufti.
right.
Yes, and DK Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah obviously have their task cut out because being the host also and the ruling party Congress in Karnataka, a lot also depends the kind of reception they receive, the kind of modalities
Lot
that
of
are being
optics
discussed.
at play, Pankaj. I mean,
I know,
I don't know काम
exactly.
हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन काम का जिक्र जरूर हो रहा है. Now the Aam Aadmi Party entourage has walked in. Varghese, these are the entourages that I was talking about.
No, we'll have two chief
Sanjay,
ministers.
Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Mann, Raghav Chaddha. With the deputy chief minister in the center. It's a pre-planned, like a military event. You've got the chief of defense staff coming in at this minute, chief of naval staff coming in at this minute. So I don't know if actual work is going to happen or not, but there is much fanfare around it. It looks like a proper international summit.
See, what you're talking about is actually right when you talk about optics, because optics goes a long way. And that is why you will probably see optics on the other side as well, in the NDA meet as well. So the optics is going to be very interesting to watch over here. And whether it will actually turn out to be something interesting enough, well, but that we'll have to wait and watch. But the optics is surely there.
Certainly.
Certainly the optics is there, and with all these leaders
Perception,
coming in, optics is there.
Perception politics. Pankaj, perception politics is that going to be the number one weapon? Unstable, quote unquote, alleged unstable prime minister now walking towards the entry point, if those posters were anything to go by. But perception politics, Pankaj, is that going to be the first delivery of this match?
Yes, indeed, Kabir. And but first, the man on the screen, Nitish Kumar, obviously a man who wields such notoriety that thousands of kilometers away from Bihar in Bengaluru, his posters come up. I mean, that was something very surprising this morning.
अब
But nonetheless,
अब क्या कीजिएगा प्रधानमंत्री?
क्या कीजिएगा पोस्टर तो बनते ही रहते हैं. I think he would have responded in the same manner the way he responded when that bridge had collapsed, Sultanganj bridge. But yes, talking about optics, Kabir and Varghese, if it needs any more sort of ratification or stamp of approval, just wait for 5 o'clock in the evening when the NDA party meeting starts, and there you would also see the kind of optics, the shutterbugs would be there, and the visuals would be beamed across the country. Obviously, it is very important as of now because not just the country, the world is also watching how Indian polity takes shape. And for the discerning voters and viewers of India, obviously, they have to see that what is the body language, whether there is a connect or not, whether there is equal amount of respect being paid to veterans like Lalu Prasad Yadav, whether Sharad Pawar, despite having faced a setback, receives the same warmth of reception. All these things are very important here because the voter, trust me, and the parties know about this. We have parties like Aam Aadmi Party who spend crores and crores of rupees when it comes to these optics. So they are the masters, and so is Congress, so is any other party. So it is very important as of now to project a united stand because these are the formative months. When we are into 2024, no one would ask who was accorded a welcome, who was given a cup of tea or not. They would say, what is the issue that they are fighting against? How are you going to tackle UCC? How are you going to tackle NRC? What are you going to do about job growth and employment? So all these things would come into picture. But as of now, these optics, and I'm sure that it will be replied in the same coin come 5 o'clock this evening.
Deputy Chief Minister Shiv Kumar's handshake was left hanging. I mean, he did put out his hand. But Lalu Prasad Yadav, it seems, had too much sensory, input to take into account that the Deputy Chief Minister was standing there. Now the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren, with the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, D.K. Shiv Kumar, K.C. Venugopal, of course, he is right there, everywhere. This man, from Manipur to America, to Rahul Gandhi's, trips, and the the backroom negotiations as well. That's also something. Importance of K.C. Venugopal, Varghese. Would you like to talk about that?
So K.C. Venugopal is the backroom manager for a lot of reasons that we can see, and of course the front manager as well. And here we can see the kind of bonhomie that you can see among the opposition leaders, and as they are being welcomed for this meeting in Bengaluru. There's something about Bengaluru. When the emergency happened, most of the opposition leaders were actually staged in, from George Fernandez to Vajpayee to Advani. All of them were actually, jailed in Bengaluru. And Bengaluru, it resulted in them coming together, and of course Indira Gandhi was thrown out of power at that time, and you had different opposition parties all coming to power. So if you go by the significance of Bengaluru, I think Bengaluru would have some kind of surprise to throw up this time as well with this meeting. I'm just looking at a historical analogy, if it's possible to look into it, but there is a possibility about that. However, after having said that, also over here when we see the meeting being held in Bengaluru, and especially the kind of leaders that have been coming in, all of them are regional leaders in their own right. Okay, that is M.K. Stalin, one of the major allies for.
And I'm reading here on the front page, it says, after Senthil Balaji, Enforcement Directorate searches second Tamil Nadu politician, arrests him in rupees 40 crore mining case. This is K. Ponmudi, the Education Minister of Tamil Nadu. And we all know how Stalin has postured himself against the centre, against what he calls an attack on the federal structure of the government and the country. So M.K. Stalin's attendance is also of huge significance, and this, the main person, Sonia Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge, the former president, now the current president of the AICC, with Rahul Gandhi there, of course. Will Rahul Gandhi become the doula or not? That is a question on everybody's lips. But Pankaj, talking about looking at these, the biggest entourage that has now come in, and needless to say that the conclave will now finally begin, since Srimati Sonia Gandhi is now in the building. 38 parties going to meet the NDA camp. O.P. Rajbhar over there, Pawan Kalyan over there, the TDS, the JDS are going to are likely to follow suit. Let's not forget, apart from the BRS, all Telugu parties are going to the NDA camp. BRS won't, but none of the Telugu parties in the in the opposition camp so far. Your take on that? Chirag Paswan is also likely to follow suit, go into the NDA camp. Is there a strong battle on our hands, or is this a clear, perception politics? We know what the result is going to be.
Well, clearly, Kabir, it looks like it's the month of filing tax deductions, and hence you refer TDP as a TDS. TDP, YSRCP, and obviously, all BRS, for that matter, the Telugu-speaking parties, as of now, haven't shown any sort of inclination towards any of the conglomerates here. And BRS has made it clear that they won't be siding with anyone and would like to go solo, since they have become a national party now and have rechristened themselves also as the BRS. As far as the heft and the weight on both sides is concerned, obviously these morning newspapers were flanked with the numbers 26 versus 38, outnumbering the Congress alliance, this opposition unity, by almost 12 political parties. Whether these parties would translate into Lok Sabha seats, that remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, that BJP getting into a huddle, the NDA getting into a huddle, and also trying to invite who are outside the NDA fold, is something which speaks volumes about how slowly but surely, as they say, the longest journey starts with the first step. So whether this, what we are seeing in Bengaluru, is the first step towards that longest journey for these opposition parties, even BJP's.
I think Derek O'Brien put it, in the most apt way. He said that it's the first time that, the BJP is now reacting. The NDA is reacting. We've taken the call. We're making the decisions. They're staggered and rattled, and they're reacting to what we're doing. On the same day, I mean, you could have called the NDA executive meet on any other day. You're calling it on the day when we had already pre-planned months in advance. But of course, certain other things that have happened today as well. Oman Chandi, Varghese, Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge visited, this particular residence, and they spoke to the media. Let's quickly listen in to what it means to Kharge, the AICC president, and Rahul Gandhi, of course, as well.
Chandiji represented the spirit of Kerala and the spirit of India. He was a true leader of the people of Kerala, and we will all miss him. We loved him very much, and we will remember him fondly. My condolences to his family and everybody who loved and cared for him.
It is great loss to our country, and particularly to the state of Kerala. A great leader, and he served in Congress party long, and he was a good administrator, good chief minister, good organizer, and very honest our party leader. Today we lost him. I am very sad, and in condolences I can say there's such a great loss to our party, and also the bereaved family is also very in a bad situation. God should give strength to them to bear this loss, and I hope they will come from that this grief, and we all hope that better days for their family.
Well, so I mean, of course, it's a sad day for the Congress party. The entire Indian politics is certainly poorer without Oppn Chandy, not just the Congress party, but look at the bright side. The silver lining here is that, on a day when the conclave, the second day of the conclave is happening, it seems like emotionally all the congressmen, all the party workers are together. There's no Karnataka Congress or Kerala Congress. It's all together. And former Kerala Chief Minister, his body remains in Karnataka on a day, it just happens to be the conclave. Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, all, thronging that particular residence, speaking to the media as well about how big of a dent this is for the Congress party. But coming back to the politics at hand, we've spoken about the lighter tones, we've spoken about the harsher tones. According to the NDA camp that's going to happen today, this evening, O.P. Rajbhar is going to be there. Sanjay Nishad, part of that camp. Chirag Paswan also over there. Caste politics is very crucial.
Caste equation.
The caste equation is very crucial ahead of 2024 Mahabharat.
Yes, it is going to be quite, interesting to see how this caste equation is going to be. For example, in Uttar Pradesh East, the BJP had significantly, been losing grounds, for which they have in fact tried to get other leaders to fix the situation there. In the West also, so they are trying to play around with the caste politics, and also they are quite taking it serious about the erosion of certain areas which they had thought they had made an entry to, or where they had thought they had established themselves. So they are taking all those factors also into consideration, and this NDA allies meet is also to assure the allies that they continue to be with the BJP, and 38 of them that are going to come in are going to reaffirm their support for the BJP as an alliance. So the BJP just reaffirming the fact that it is in the principal lead when it comes to this.
Right, and Pankaj, your viewpoint on this very quickly as well, because we know that the BJP, when it comes to rejigging the caste calculus, they do it quite phenomenally, quite beautifully, and O.P. Rajbhar has time and again helped the BJP earlier on as well. Aya Ram Gaya Ram wala situation to rehta hi hai, but by the end of it, O.P. Rajbhar ends up supporting the one with the greater mandate, and the same goes out for somebody like the Nishad party as well. We have a reaction by the Nishad party chief as well, but before that, your viewpoint on caste calculus ahead of 2024.
Well, it's a very important, cog in the wheel as far as the central India politics is concerned, and especially for a state like Uttar Pradesh, obviously, where the battle lines are even more clearer. This time around, there is no two ways about it. We saw O.P. Rajbhar breaking ranks with the BJP, going to SP fold, and then coming back once again. Obviously, none of the parties would say no to it, because the kind of caste, calculus that is at play, obviously that doesn't harm if you have it on your side. But having said that, there are bigger things at stake as well. It is not just a mere caste politics would let you go away with the cake. But as I mentioned, be it the Nishad party, be it OP Rajbhar, their entry and their role in politics in UP and Bihar is merely limited to a particular set of vote bank. But here, what is at stake with the alliance partners coming in together, both from the NDA side and the Congress's side, the stakes become much higher, and BJP and Congress both know it. So yes, not saying no to Rajbhar or anyone, but obviously it won't be something that would be, a game-changing approach as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. In assembly elections, definitely they have a particular seat and a particular say. But here, I think both the parties would be looking at the bigger picture. And these ayaram gayarams, obviously, we have had them in the Indian politics for a long, long time. And many of them, actually, you're right, Kabir, choose to be on the right side of the party who is in power.
All right. On that note, how about we quickly listen in to what Sanjay Nishad had to say ahead of this NDA meet later on in the evening today, even as the second day of the joint opposition conclave takes place in Bengaluru. All eyes are certainly going to be on that joint press conference by these leaders, the joint opposition leaders addressing the press conference at about 4 p.m. in the evening. Timing can certainly vary. We're looking at, these entourages trickle in slowly. Will that press conference actually be held at 4 p.m. is again going to be a big question mark. But first, let's listen in to Sanjay Nishad and his take on the NDA camp and the huddle in the national capital today.
दिल्ली में आज एनडीए की बैठक होनी है और उसमें शामिल होने के लिए एनडीए के तमाम घटक दल आज दिल्ली पहुंच गए हैं। संजय निषाद जी हमेशा थे निषाद पार्टी के अध्यक्ष हैं और ये शामिल होंगे आज उस बैठक में जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री और जेपी नड्डा दोनों ही मौजूद रहेंगे। सबसे पहले निषाद जी, पहला प्रश्न आपसे ये है कि बीजेपी में आप जो गठबंधन में एनडीए में शामिल हो रहे हैं, इसके पीछे प्रधानमंत्री जी हैं आपके मन में या बीजेपी है जो होल है?
मैं तो जो शामिल हो रहे हैं उन्हें बधाई दे रहा हूं, और न प्रधानमंत्री और न तो बीजेपी है। ये एनडीए का एक विचारधारा है कि इस देश को निचले पावदान पर रहने वाले को विकास की मुख्यधारा में लाने का एक सिस्टम है। और हमारे एनडीए की एक ही सोच है कि जो है राष्ट्रवाद हो और इस देश की भारतीय संस्कृति को जन जन तक स्थापित हो, और राष्ट्र को दुनिया में जो हमारा सोने की चिड़िया थी उसे फिर से राष्ट्र को फिर उसी सम्मान के साथ लाया जाए और अर्थव्यवस्था में हम फिर 1 नंबर पर आएँ और धीरे धीरे 5 नंबर पर हमारे हैं। और जो एक प्रश्न है कि G20 का नेतृत्व है कि जो दुनिया में सम्मान भारत का बढ़ा है और हर जाति हर धर्म को बिना भेदभाव के जन कल्याणकारी गरीब कल्याण की जो नीतियां बनी हैं उसे धरातल पर लागू किया गया। इसको देखकर सारी और भी दलें हमारे तरफ आ रहे हैं जो हमारी इस विचारधारा से सहमत हैं। बाकी उनका हम स्वागत करते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री के अंदर वो शक्ति है कि वो यही एक ऐसे नेता है जो पिछड़ों के नेता, निषादों के नेता। अब हम अपनी बात कर दूँ कि 70 साल से सताए गए निषाद हैं, उसके पहले अंग्रेजों मुगलों के द्वारा सताए गए हैं, लड़ने के नाते उजड़े हैं। क्रिमिनल ट्राइब्स एक्ट इंक्वायरी कमेटी 1949-50 अंथासेमन ये कहती है कि केवट मल्ला बिंद कश्यप कहार 193 जातियाँ जो क्रिमिनल ट्राइब्स एक्ट से प्रभावित हैं, इनकी दशा दुर्दशा SC/ST से खराब है। किसी ने चिंता नहीं की आज तक 70 सालों से, वोट तो लेते रहे। चिंता किसने किया? मोदी ने चिंता। हम तो बाद में गए 2019 में, लेकिन 2014 में ही उन्होंने हमारी जातियों के लिए मत्स्य मंत्रालय अलग कर दिया। उसके बाद
Well, so you can catch the entire exchange on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Many thanks, Varghese, for joining with us on this broadcast. Pankaj, a good candid conversation with you. Let's hope that it is actually PDA, because then it stands with, Rahul Gandhi's Mohabbat ki dukan, dialogue and ideology. But we'll have to wait and find out what this common program is going to be, what this new name for the alliance is going to look like, what is the seat sharing process going to be looking like, what is this common minimum program. There's some salient points on that. We'll get to know about that only in the evening today, even as the NDA is going to go in its own huddle. So needless to say, the poll bugle has been sounded. that locomotive has started running towards the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. What's going to happen is anybody's guess.
Yes.
Many thanks, Pankaj. Many thanks, Varghese. That's all the time we have for you. Keep watching News9 Live.
He thought he could outlast us. And 1 year later, the evidence is right here in this room.
Who will blink first?